So, hey team, it is July 31st, the last day in July. Welcome to the weekly Team Perseverance Team Call. It's been going on since 2013. Every single Monday we've been here, news, training, announcements, recognition. It's great to see you guys on the team call. For any new coaches that are on now or the recording, because I see the views on the recording, and there's a lot of views on the recording. My name is Dave Atkins, the founding coach of Team Perseverance and one of your upline star diamonds, because we have a bunch on our team. And this is just our time each week to come together to go over news, what's the latest news going on, training, recognition, and then anything else that we need to share with you guys on the team. So I have a couple of announcements. First and foremost, guys, is Team Cup. Team Cup, today is the last day to get on a team. Like, if you're on this call, you 100% should, in fact, be on a Team Cup team. And if you're not, you need to boogie in the next, 3.5 hours and get on the Team Perseverance page, even if you find people outside of Team Perseverance as a whole, and get on a Team Cup team. It's going to help you be accountable and push yourself in the month of August. The second is Coach Summit. I'm going to be talking about this a lot. The next Coach Summit, have you got your ticket? It's now still on a discounted rate for Indianapolis next year. If you have not, you need to go to CoachSummit.com and get it right now. This is the biggest event of the year, and I want to preach this every week, every month, every quarter, and this entire year up until next summit to get there to go. I have goals next year for us to have at least twice to 3 times as many people on the team that are there at Coach Summit next year, because I know already there's people on this call, and I know there's coaches already that left there that had never hit Success Club and have hit Success Club, who are consistent, who are getting on the calls. It is 100%, and there I just see Glenn's thing pop up, a difference maker. He's one of the people, so you have to get to Coach Summit. Next, guys, regarding the UK launch, it is not too late to start like today or tomorrow and to get on the UK bandwagon, okay? It is not too late with 2.5 months until the launch. Today, just so you guys know, today the tickets went on sale for the launch event in London. That's October 21st. It's about $6 for the ticket. So if you're like saying, I probably should jump on this and learn about it and do it, which I'll get into a second, then you may want to go on to teambeachbodyuk.com and get a ticket. You're all invited to be there, and I invite all of you to put in a little extra work for the next 2.5 months for something that can completely change your business. I did a call a couple months ago in the Team Perseverance page of exactly what we're doing, what I'm doing, what Kristen and I are doing. And I'm not here to tell you, this is not this is not a bragging comment, but I want you guys to understand, and I said it in my live video yesterday, nobody knows what anything means with rank in the UK. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows what elite means. Nobody knows what diamond means. They don't know anything. But I've been pouring in and working my butt off, and Kristen and I have almost 300 UK people in our group. We're not playing. I'm being serious. These people are chomping at the bit because they've had Beachbody there for 7 years, and now Shakeology and the coaching opportunity is coming. So if you want to take your business to the next level, you just have to put in the work, and you have to have the self-discipline to do it, and ask yourself, what are my goals, and what they are my priorities of what I'm doing each and every day aligned with my goals. Because if they're not, you're not going to have the discipline to do the work. But if your goals are aligned with your priorities, that what you're doing, you'll have the self-discipline to get it done. And it's only been 2 months, and you have 2.5 months left to do it. Go back, watch the training call. There's stuff. I know Shannon Larice went on the team page and shared doing stuff in Instagram with hashtags. You can find people. They're there. There's millions of people that are there, and you can truly go after this. And if you're thinking about maybe I'm going to do this, I highly recommend that you go on the teambeachbodyuk.com website and spend the price of 2 cups of coffee for $6 and get your ticket, okay? Because coaches cannot go to the Shaun T workout. Coaches can only go to the event themselves. It's in the morning and afternoon. So if you think you may have a couple people out there, from what we've learned, face-to-face time with these people and leading with fitness first. Leading with fitness first, not about the business. It will develop into that. So moving forward, I think, let me just check here. I think that's, yep, that's it. So let me get right into recognition, guys. Right now in the week leg team volume, July 20th to 26th, in the 300 club, we have Shannon Larice, Kimberly Ronaldson, Darlene Champ, Melanie Yoakum, Mike Della Sala. In the 500 club, Sharice Nolson, Jen Holdman, Devin Wheaton, Kelly Della Vecchia, Jeff Nolson, Tony Carlucci, Lindsay Kaufman, Michelle Della Sala, Cami Cowart, and Gina Strecco. In the 1,000 club, Denise Brobson, Stacy Larice, Kristen Atkins, Second Business Center. In the 2,000 club, Shana Carlucci, and my Second Business Center. In the 3,000 club, myself, Kristen Atkins, and Tara Richmond. So, guys, congratulations on the week leg team volume from July 20th through July 26th. So before I get into the training topic tonight that Kristen's actually going to do, because she did this as a presentation at Super Saturday, are there any general questions from anybody? Anybody on anything? No. All right, if there's no questions, I'm going to kick it over to Kristen about the art of developing relationships and some great training she did at Super Saturday that we think is right in a line with the Team Cup starting and what we need to be doing to help people the month of August and to be there to help people change their life, to live a healthy, fulfilling life in the month of August. So go ahead, babe. You want to unmute?
Hello, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Dave, you turn the volume down. Okay. Hey guys, how are you on this, now it's rainy here, but beautiful Monday. So tonight's topic, honestly, is super simple, super to the point, but probably the most important piece of your business. And, you know, I was thinking about like why a lot of coaches don't make it in coaching and they leave and they go say, oh, I'm going to go sell leggings or whatever. And I think it's because like you don't really need to build relationships to sell a pair of leggings, or I mean maybe you do, but not as much as this. You know, building relationships and forming trust with somebody is the key for them wanting to join your team or wanting to join your challenge group, or just wanting to, you know, take advice from you and help from you. And that's where it really all starts. And that's the difference between what we do and what everybody else does. If you don't have a strong foundation with somebody, you know, chances are they're not going to join you right away, or they're just not going to trust you, and they're never going to say yes. So your job is strictly to build that rapport and build that relationship with that person. So that way, when you go to say, hey, have you ever considered trying one of my online fitness groups? They, A, probably know what you're talking about because they follow you and you're pretty consistent with your posting. And B, they want to join you because they feel like they have that relationship with you. Now, it's more work for us because everything we do is virtual. I mean, I'm sure you can make, you know, you do have connections outside of, you know, social media, and that's great. But majority of what we do does come from social media. So when you are going out and adding these new friends to your network, you know, what is going to make you different than every other coach or every other person selling something? And that's going to be the fact that they feel like you genuinely care about their well-being, right? And you should. So that's really the basis of tonight's training. It's a training I did before. But I think it's something that needs to come up, especially as we continually to add new coaches to our team, or people are, you know, just starting to get into inviting, and, you know, they're not understanding why, you know, people are giving them so many objections, or, you know, I sent them the video and I don't understand, it's crickets. And a lot of times it's because we rush through the process, and the process of getting to know somebody should be the one piece of like the 5-step invitation process, step 2, that you spend the most amount of time on. And I've told people sometimes that step 2 can take a couple of days, a couple hours, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It could take a year or two. And as long as you're posting consistently on your social media, those people that you plant the seeds with will continue to watch you and kind of feel that connection to you. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to share these slides with you. And I'm sure I feel like I've posted it before, to be quite honest, but I can share it afterwards. Let me find it. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah? Okay. So it says building relationships and inviting. And I start off with this John Maxwell quote: people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. So, you know, you listing all of the superfoods that are in Shakeology is not really going to impress somebody, but you identifying with their struggle with binge eating, or, you know, the struggle to be so tired because you have little kids that you can't get your workouts in. They're going to connect to that much more so than you know, being like, well, I lost 30 pounds. You know, they don't really care. They want to know what you struggle with is what they struggle with. Okay. All right. So your daily non-negotiable, this is probably the most important part of your business. And a lot of coaches don't understand why, you know, they don't get traction with their posts, or nobody's, you know, commenting, or, you know, that same people, you know, I'm just asking the same people over and over again. You have to bring new people into your network. That's first and foremost. So your daily non-negotiable every day is adding new contacts. You should be sending 3 to 5 new friend requests daily. Now, of course, you can up that. We had the group going 20 and 5, where we were sending 20 new friend requests every day. Some people do 10 as their non-negotiable. Whatever number you feel comfortable with, it does not take that long to send friend requests, especially if it's something you do like right when you're, you know, you get out of bed in the morning, because you want to give people time to accept your friend request so later on you can send them messages. All right, but it should be minimum 3 a day, and it should be every day. Of course, you want to look at mutual friends. Make sure that they're not friends with other coaches that you know of. And I always just do a quick, like, look at their cover photo. If they look like a serial killer, I'm not going for it. I usually only choose women. That's me. I love to see if they have kids, because, you know, around my kids' ages, so I know that we have something in common and that I'll have something to talk to them about. But as soon as they accept it and you get the notification, or you check in recently added, send them a message. All right. And so these are my examples of some messages that I have sent. Hold on one second. I'm just going to move this over. Oh, sorry. Dave, can you come here for a second? Sorry, guys. My computer's frozen. Give me 1 second. I can't move this, and I don't know where my mouse is. Oh, thank you. Go back to this.
Where do you want it to go? Where do you want this?
I just want this to move over. Okay, and go back to it. No, I'm gonna go back. Technical difficulties. Sorry, guys. Okay, thank you. All right, can you guys see that? Oh, it's still in the way.
Put it on the top of the bottom.
I can't get to it once they clicks off.
All right, then just leave it. They can read it.
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Your faces are all blocking my words.
As long as
yeah.
If I could see everything, because I've minimized, like if I hover over the top bar where everybody's faces are, there's a little dash that says hide thumbnail video, and we all go away. So then I could see your words.
All right. Okay. As long as you guys can. I can't, because I have you guys covering it, and I can't mouse over it. I don't know why. All right. As long as you see it, that's fine. All right. So these are just some simple samples, and these are real messages from real people that I've had conversation with. So if you look over to the left, easy peasy, non-invasive way. This is kind of how I teach my coaches, like from the get-go. If you feel uncomfortable doing this, just do this. Hey, Dolly, thanks for accepting my friend request. I saw we had some mutual friends. Have a great day. And she wrote back, I saw that too. Have a great day too. And that, from there, like, I'll just be on her page after that and in commenting and things like that. Hey, Maria, how are you? How long have you lived in Katona? Where does your daughter, or did you say you have a son, go to school? So that one we had already spoken, a thread in like one of the moms groups I'm in. So I took it to private message. And a lot of times when you, we suggest that you get into different groups, we're not saying go into different groups and post publicly like, hey, I'm a coach who wants to join me. It's really more so to create relationships with people privately, people that are just like you. And then I had a couple of them starting the non-beach body combo. I can't read the one on the right. Maybe you can read it, Shannon, for me.
I can read it. It says, "Hi, Melissa. Thanks for accepting my friend request. I saw we had some mutual friends. Hope all is well. Your kids are adorable. I have 3 girls myself. It's nuts, isn't it? LOL."
All right. So that was Melissa. And then the person, that will come back and say to you, "Do I know you?" Right. And I don't think we actually know each other. I saw you in the Katona Parents. I think you are a dog sitter, right? And I just took something from her page, and I'm actually friends with this girl still. We still talk all the time. Just take something from their page that you notice. I like to try to find something in common. And usually it's kids. It could be if they're into fitness, if I see them doing Zumba or something fun like that. So check their wall for anything you have in common to start a conversation. Now, a lot of people get caught up with this and they're like, should I be talking to them for 3 months? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, honestly, guys, you can start here, do a little back and forth if they answer you, and call it a day. I usually end up by saying, it was really great chatting with you or meeting you. I hope that we can stay in touch. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Great. No problem. And then you move on. It does not have to be a dragged on conversation. All right. So then once you start those conversations, what are you going to do next? You're going to put your new friends in an interest list or keep track of their names. I think it's not called interest list anymore. It's called friends list on Facebook. But if you keep track through whatever way that you track people, whatever's best for you, keep a list of the people that you speak to. And then you're going to go into their page every 2-3 days or so and make sure you comment on some of their posts. If they're posting, sometimes they don't, but you want to just try to keep your face popping up as much as possible. And the reason for that, number one, so you can, they keep seeing your name, and also they will be served your posts as you post them. Okay, because Facebook recognizes who you interact with the most, and that's who they serve you to. So honestly, you don't want to interact with a whole lot of coaches because if you scroll through your news feed, you'll notice like you're only going to see coaches, right? And that's not really going to help you get out there in front of new people. And again, you can go back in like another week or so if there's something that they post about and it interests you. Go back and message them and be like, oh, I love that post of your daughter today. She's so sweet. How old is she? Something along those lines. And then you form them. And Davis talked about this before. Family, occupation, recreation, message. And just talk about anything that you have in common. And then it's okay to invite to a challenge group. You do not have to have a 6-month conversation with this person. You do not have to message them 10 times before you feel like it's okay to invite them. I'm going to show you my samples of some short and sweet invites. Okay. So if you look on the left side, this is a friend I've talked to a lot. We have a solid relationship and I feel comfortable with this person. So I just messaged, girl, when are you going to work out with me? I know you need a lot of energy to keep up with those 3 babies. I know I have to figure that out. So that was somebody I was friends with from high school who had triplets. Crazy. And then the next one is somebody asking for fitness health advice. And some of you probably have had this happen where, maybe the person doesn't intend on joining you at the moment, but they're like, oh, I see you eating blah, blah, blah. Can you give me some good recipes? Or, I need help. I'm bored with the same chicken recipes. So if somebody asks for advice, you pull it back to an invite. That's great. Yes. So I would say you definitely need to add in weight training to help build some lean muscle. That will help tighten you up. You actually sound like a perfect candidate for one of my online fitness groups. Have you ever considered that? And I turn it back into an invite. Like, you're asking me for help, so maybe this would be a good connection, and turn it around. And then you have the generic ones. Just the generic ones, somebody maybe that you're not that close with, but you've had a conversation with. Hey, hope all's well. I'm reaching out to some of my Facebook friends and inviting them to my upcoming 30-day online fitness group. It's totally geared towards busy moms, quick, effective workouts. You popped into my head since we just spoke recently. Would that be something you're interested in? And then somebody who liked on my post, I guess. Tell her I said hi. I would absolutely love to have you join one of my fitness groups. That would be so fun. Tell me a little about your current health and fitness goals. That way I can better guide you in the right direction. Can't wait to chat. So that's somebody that liked one of my posts for an invite, and somebody that I know. Again, guys, you always want to go to step 2 from there once somebody is interested, right? And that's the part you're going to spend the most amount of time on. So they said yes. maybe, or tell me more, awesome, now what? A lot of times we get caught up when they're like, oh, what's the cost? Or yeah, tell me about it. And you want to kind of like just vomit on them and just tell them everything and how wonderful it is and amazing, and how it's changed your life. But I'm going to caution you to slow your roll. I want you to go right back into step 2, where you are going to kind of dig a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. You want to really get to know the person at this point, and understand that it's okay to go slow with this. And the thing that used to freak me out all the time was when in my head I would do an invite to somebody, and let's say the challenge group was starting in 3 days, and they're like, yeah, tell me more. And I felt like, oh my God, I got to get them to order quick because we start in 3 days. And I've learned to stop that and really take my time and say, you know what, if they don't make this group, I will get them in the next group, and at least I can take my time talking to them. And again, if you're starting conversations every day, you should have quite a few people in your pipeline of conversations at all times, so that way you're not scrounging, just kind of depending on those 1 or 2 people every month to join you. Because more times than not, they won't join you. You know, you kind of statistically, you kind of have to have a lot of conversations going in order to get those 1 or 2 or 3 to kind of join you at that point. So follow the 5-step invitation process. Do not reinvent the wheel or do it your way. I used to do it my way and I sucked at it. And Dave would be like, are you using the 5 steps? I'm like, no, but my way's good. The 5 steps sound so scripted, you know? And then I ended up just being able to take it and make it my own. And that's when I started to get better at it. So you're going to invite them, which we talked about. You're going to bridge step 1 to step 2. It's preparing them for questions you'll be asking. In step 2 is the interview your prospect, asking questions to learn more about them. That's the part you're going to take the most time with, and I'll go over that. Then you bridge step 2 to step 3. Get a clear commitment that they'll watch the video you send them in step 3. The video that I always like to send is the Ever Feel Like This video. I just feel like it kind of is so corny, but it totally taps on everything that they need to know to be in the group, and it makes it easier and less talking time for you. And then you send a video explaining the challenge groups. Follow up to find out what they liked about the video and confirm their interest in joining your challenge group. One thing that I learned a long time ago was, instead of saying to them, what did you think? You say, like, what did you like about it? Because I think when you say, what do you think, you can kind of open up for some negativity. If they're like, I don't know about those shakes things. Yeah, that's what I think. You know, what do you like about it? Well, I like that there's accountability. That's great. You know, and those are things that you can pull later on to help. I always say it's ammo later on if they give you objections. And then help your prospect enroll in your challenge group by walking them through the process. Okay. But now we're going to go back to step 2, because like I said, this is where you're going to spend your most time. These are some of the sample questions that I would ask during this step. Now, please keep in mind, you don't want to blast somebody with like 10 questions. You will overwhelm them and scare them away running for the hills. So I usually ask like 1 or 2 questions at a time, and I wait for a response. I know that's hard sometimes to wait, especially if they don't answer you right away, or like it's been a day or so. And that's when you just follow up and say, hey, just checking to see if you got my last message. I was asking you about your nutrition. So what are your current health or fitness goals? I usually start with that one. It's a little bit more general. If they say, I want to lose weight, I'll be like, well, how much weight would you ideally like to lose? Are you looking to tone up? Things like that. So I just dig a little deeper. Tell me what your daily nutrition looks like. Guys, you really always want to ask about nutrition. You want to know what their biggest struggles are in that area, because the biggest objection you probably get is Shakeology, and Shakeology is the nutrition piece. So you want to dig deep now and kind of, where do you struggle with the most? Oh my God, nighttime eating, nighttime snacking, or I have such a big sweet tooth. So those things are all kind of like laying the foundation for when you talk about Shakeology later on. And they might say, oh wow, Shakeology helps with nighttime, for cravings. That actually might work for me. What do your energy levels look like throughout the day? A lot of people tell me, oh, I drink a lot of coffee, or I have that afternoon crash. Again, that's going to help you with Shakeology later on, because it helps give energy. Where do you struggle? How much time realistically do you think you could dedicate to working out every day? Some people will be like, I can work out a half hour. Some people are like, oh, I can have an hour. So you have an idea of maybe what program would work best for them. What type of workouts do you prefer? Cardio, resistance training, yoga, Pilates, a mix of things. And you kind of just get a good idea of what they like. So that way you can kind of narrow it down after that. After you ask step 2 and get like a good idea where they're at, I usually go into the video. You sound really great for this group. I think this would really help you with XYZ, right? You take parts of all those goals that they were talking about and then put those in. And can I send you a video that gives you more information? And you can see if it's for you. And here are some do's and don'ts of building relationships. There's that sleazy salesman. How you doing? I got challenge packs real cheap. Right? We're not going to be doing that. And we're not going to do that. Hey, it's nice to meet you. Tell me your name. I have just what you need. Right? We're not going to be like that. We have to take our time. The don'ts: don't rush the process. Don't be salesy. Don't vomit beach body. Don't fire back a message after the message until they answer you. You ever do that? I do that sometimes too. Like, what are your goals? And then you're like, answer me. Do you want to lose weight? Like, no, wait until they answer you. It's so hard to be patient, but I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. And don't be pushy, and don't cold invite. Now, I know people who do cold invite, and some are successful, and if it works for you, cool. But I still believe that at some point you need to build a relationship. And I am going to just give this example of the UK people that we've been working with. We actually don't have a choice right now but to build relationships with them, because we are basically helping them for free for the last 2 months, right? We'll be helping them for free until October. So all we can do right now is literally build relationships. They're watching everything we do. We are talking to them every single day. And I think it's actually even better this way, because there's nothing to say, can you buy this from us? Can you buy this from us? We can't even go there. So it's actually like really building a nice relationship. And I do believe these people would be really great coaches, because they're working through the process and we're just taking our time with them. These are the do's. And there's Dave's boy, Gary Vee. Saying hello doesn't have an ROI. It's about building relationships. So these are the do's. Be patient. Take your time. I've said it 12 times, right? Go for no. It's okay. If somebody tells you no, you're going to hear this a million times. It usually means not right now, right? And I usually end up with, I used to get mad at people for saying no to me, like, oh, bitch, you want to do this. I know you want to do this. Why are you not doing this? No, just understand that they're not ready at that point. I usually offer some sort of counter, like if they're giving me an objection to something, I do try and say, listen, you told me you wanted to lose weight. I'm telling you this will help, blah, blah, blah. And if they're like, no, it's not for me right now, I said, great, listen, let's touch base in a month or so and see how you're doing. Maybe then you'll be ready. I always tell them I'm going to follow up with them like in a time frame so they know I'm coming back. Listen more than you speak. I think this is really hard as a new coach, because we're really excited about the programs and, maybe about our results. So it's really hard to do that, but really listen more than you speak. Ask questions and listen for the answers, and make sure you're piggybacking off of those questions. End your messages with a question. Does that sound good? Is that a plan? Does that work for you? Because that gives them an answer to come back at, right? Instead of just ending flat. Be okay with it if they aren't ready yet. Again, I usually end up on I try to end on a high note saying, no problem. Like, let's touch base in a month or so. I would love to have you. You let me know when you're ready, but let's touch base in a month. Only ask 1 to 2 questions at a time, which I said. Just do it. Don't be afraid to invite. Because, guys, I'm telling you, the more seeds you plant, it's like you open a door. So even if they say no, the door's been open. They know what you're about, and they watch you even more. So it's actually easier for you, especially if you're posting regularly, once you ask somebody if they want to be in a challenge group, because they might reach out to you before you reach back out to them sometimes. That happens. And follow up, because the fortune really isn't a follow-up. Don't assume that they don't want to work with you. Don't assume that they are a no. Don't assume that you're annoying them, because you're not. Some people are really busy and they just forget to answer. And I've done it myself. So make sure you follow up. And here are some follow-ups scripts that I've used. There's a bunch of them. Hey, hope all is well. Just wanted to follow up because I didn't hear back from you. Hey, just checking in since we last spoke to get your feedback on if you sent the video or something. Just wanted to follow up since we last spoke, see if you still wanted me to hold a spot in my next group for you. I know you mentioned you were struggling with X, Y, and Z, put in their goals, and I know this can help fix that. Are you still in? Especially if somebody said yes. This one I always use. Hey, just want to make sure you saw my last message because I didn't hear back from you. I'm checking in to see if you're still interested in hopping in my next group. If you could let me know either way, I would really appreciate it. Basically saying like, you haven't answered me. Could you please let me know? I would really appreciate that. I was holding your spot in my next group. Please let me know if I should cross your name off the roster. We don't really go there until like maybe 3 or 4 follow-ups. Like, you know, and I did have one girl say to me, yeah, cross me off your list. I'm like, okay. Just making sure I didn't do something wrong since I haven't heard back from you. That one too, we don't really say too often unless, you know, somebody's really not answering you and you had to, you know, sometimes people, you have like this really good relationship going and you're like, oh, this person's great. They're going to love this. And then they just really just stop answering you and like never answer you for the rest of their lives. To summarize, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. That's Tony Robbins. So it's true. Your success as a coach will be determined on the quality of the relationships that you build. And that follows through once you build your team of coaches, right? So you want to start off with a solid foundation with your challengers. So that way it translates into them trusting you and wanting to stay with you and you creating a great relationship, a positive relationship that they want to keep going with. So they're going to want to join your team later on. Does anybody have any questions? I know, like I said, it was all fairly simple stuff, but I really do feel like this is the meat and potatoes to everything. Does anybody have any questions? Stop share. Okay. Did I lose you? No? Okay. All right. I don't think there's any questions. They're all like amazing. Is this covered in coach training? Not to this extent, Glenn. Right, Dave? Not to this extent. The 5 steps covered. Babe?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, Glenn, we can share these. I'll share this keynote with you guys. I'll put it in the coaches page. I feel like it should be in there, but if it's not, I'll add it in so you have it to use as samples. Any other questions? Was it helpful at all? Anybody? Yeah, I know some of the older coaches are like, yeah, Carson, I know this. What?
Guys, unrelated. Somebody want to lower that? Unrelated, Jamie, to answer your question regarding, this is unrelated, guys, but it was a UK question. Why is Shakeology not available until October with the launch in the UK? Because Shakeology is part of Team Beachbody. Beachbody is our parent company. Under that is Team Beachbody. Team Beachbody is the network of coaches. That's what Shakeology comes out of. So for approvals and regulations and what they had to go through to get Shakeology approved, as well as the business opportunity, and since it all falls under the umbrella of Team Beachbody, as well as the Beachbody Performance line, they will all be simultaneously available on October 19th for the launch. So hopefully that answers that question. Jamie, does that answer it? I see you just put it up again, if Jamie's still there. I don't see her because there's a lot of people on. So that's to answer that. Any other general questions with anybody?
Hey, David, it's Shannon. I just wanted to bring up
Close it out?
Closing it out.
All right, closing it out, guys. Go for it. All right, so have a great week. Team Cup starts this week. Get your Coach Summit ticket. UK, it's not too late. There's plenty of time. You can get your ticket with the UK for $6, Team Beachbody UK. The thing that's most important is don't take what we just shared with you guys, what we taught you guys, what Kristen gave you. It's about taking action. This information means nothing unless you do something with it. Have a great night, guys, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.